Hello everybody, I'm Bob Thomas and this is The Bottom Line. Well, every IRS document that I've ever signed has a little disclaimer at the bottom. Now, what does that say? Here it is. Under penalties of perjury, I declare that I have examined the facts stated in the form and to the best of my knowledge and belief they are true, correct, and complete. Again, under penalties of perjury. So, in other words, the IRS expects, no, wait a minute, they demand that I always tell the truth or they're threatening me with jail. But for the second time in as many months, a senior director at the IRS has invoked their Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination. You know, I bet neither you nor I could put that down in the bottom of our IRS forms that we have to fill out every year. I cover this again because it's not just invoking the Fifth Amendment right that bothers me, because I'm for every person having the right to protect themselves in their own personal life. But this story goes even deeper. Now, not only did Deputy Director Greg Roseman take the fifth, like I'm talking about, but he declined to talk about anything. And this is the same guy that it's now coming out. At his job at the IRS, he spearheaded the awarding of the IRS's largest contract in the history of the IRS to a company that is owned by one of his close friends, Braulio Castillo. That in itself is prohibited by government regulations. The name of this company is called Strong Castle Incorporated, and here's how they won their several contracts that totaled over $500 million for IRS IT services. They did this by, first of all, being friends with Director Roseman and by qualifying for 2 minority programs that allow disadvantaged applicants a better chance to win government contracts. Now, I'm all for that, but this is the way he did it. He set up his business by putting the building in a disadvantaged area of Northeast Washington, D.C. See, the Small Business Administration requires that applicants have to hire from an economically disadvantaged community. Well, a House Oversight Committee now finds out that Castillo manipulated that requirement by hiring students from the Catholic University. Now, this school's campus does lie within the designated boundary, but students are far from being disadvantaged. That's one. Here's another one. He got a minority-run contract from Veterans Administration that gives disabled veterans certain advantages in getting federal contracts. The way he did this, his disability, because he is a veteran, is that he had an ankle that was twisted during their football game at the U.S. Military Academy Prep School 27 years ago. Okay, enough. This is driving me crazy. I go over all this because this is a close friend of a director at the IRS, and a person the director is assisting to getting government contracts under very questionable, if not fraudulent, means. And here is the bottom line. This is not an underling at the IRS. This is a director. The IRS is a mess. It is in crisis. You know, we already know that we have to totally revamp the IRS and how we tax ourselves, and one, please God, that's fair, and one that is easy to understand. But this problem that we're hearing now, this should tell every American that we need to completely clean house at the IRS and install a system of checks and balances and start recruiting and hiring people who can always tell the truth, just like you and I have to do every time we fill out an IRS form. You can see more episodes of The Bottom Line at thebottomline.tv. I'm Bob Thomas.